she turned down her toxic boss and got fired the very same week. Welcome back to the Jerk Verdict. Today, on r/coworker stories, an insecure supervisor abuses his power after a romantic rejection. Let us break this down. This story comes from r/coworker stories, posted by you/Akoparina. Before we get into it, drop your verdict in the comments. Who is the real jerk here? Pause the video, comment right now, and let us see if you agree with Reddit. It all began just 3 months ago when the original poster, a 30-year-old woman, started a brand new job. Right away, she noticed a very strong, undeniable mutual attraction between herself and her 31-year-old male supervisor. Classic. Mixing romance with workplace management is always a fantastic idea that never goes wrong. To her absolute surprise, he admitted that he felt the exact same way about her. However, he indirectly made it clear that he wanted to keep things strictly professional at work before anything more romantic could happen between them. That is rough. Even though hearing that hurt her feelings a little bit, it was completely expected and completely fair for a professional workplace environment. The original poster decided to respect his boundary entirely. She adjusted her behavior by stepping back emotionally, being more distant, but remaining warm and polite whenever they had to interact for work tasks. But as soon as she established that healthy professional distance, her supervisor completely changed his attitude. He suddenly hated the fact that she was acting professional and tried aggressively to pull her close again. Are you kidding me? So he sets a boundary, she respects it, and then he gets angry because she actually listened to what he asked for. The original poster kept her distance, refusing to play his hot and cold emotional games. That is when his behavior turned deeply toxic and unhinged. He started getting intensely jealous whenever she spoke to any other male colleagues in the building, even for work-related questions. The audacity, he is not even dating her, yet he thinks he owns her interactions with every single man in the entire office. The jealousy reached a ridiculous high point one afternoon. The original poster simply said a friendly goodbye to a 20-year-old part-time mini-job worker, and her supervisor slammed a heavy folder into a shelf in a blind rage right in front of her. Well, isn't that convenient? A 31-year-old manager throwing a literal physical temper tantrum over a basic workplace greeting. Maturity at its finest. That folder slamming incident was a massive wake-up call for the original poster. She realized her supervisor was a complete walking red flag, super controlling, deeply insecure, and emotionally unpredictable. She knew right then that getting close to him would be an absolute nightmare. I cannot believe what I am hearing. When someone shows you who they are through childish aggression and boundary crossing, believe them the first time. He tried a variety of subtle things to get her attention back, but none of it worked because she was fully aware of his toxicity. Despite her clear distance, her supervisor decided to try one last desperate maneuver. He indirectly told her that she should write him a private message if there was any chance of them getting together as a couple. What a surprise! He tried to put all the pressure on her so he could avoid feeling rejected directly like an adult. The original poster made the conscious choice not to send him any message. The very next morning, he walked around the office looking like a sad, kicked puppy. Even though she still had residual feelings for him and felt bad, she stood her ground. Standing her ground was the right choice for her personal safety, but her supervisor was about to retaliate in the most petty and illegal way imaginable. Within that exact same week of not receiving a message, he abruptly fired her. This is getting ridiculous. He literally weaponized her livelihood and income just because she refused to be his girlfriend. The original poster was completely devastated. She had simply wanted to do the right thing, maintain professional boundaries, and do her job. But this immature supervisor stooped as low as possible. Poor soul, losing your job after only 3 months because your boss cannot handle romantic rejection is heartbreaking and deeply unfair. To make matters even worse, she realized he had intentionally withheld performance feedback on her work over the previous weeks. He did this deliberately so he could use manufactured performance issues as a fake reason to terminate her. But wait until you hear how the internet and legal experts reacted to this massive abuse of authority. The community on r/coworkerstories was absolutely furious on behalf of the original poster. The comment section immediately erupted, pointing out that this is not just workplace drama, it is a severe violation of labor laws. User u/SureCoffee 8241 posted one of the top voted comments stating, "This is quite a lawsuit you have got if you can substantiate your claims. Make this make sense. A supervisor using his position of power to solicit romantic relationships and firing employees who decline is textbook workplace abuse." Other community members strongly agreed with this assessment, emphasizing that retaliatory firing immediately following a romantic rejection is one of the most egregious offenses in employment law. Viewers urged the original poster to preserve every text message, work schedule, email exchange, and witness account right away to build her legal case. User u/humblecommunity263 added crucial legal perspective, noting, "The key is going to be proving the connection between rejecting him and getting fired, but the timeline certainly seems worth investigating." The community highlighted just how damning the timeline really is. Going from an indirect romantic ultimatum to a rejection and then to a termination, all within 7 days, creates a powerful circumstantial case of retaliation. Many commenters shared similar horror stories of insecure managers, warning that supervisors who act like kick puppies often turn malicious when their ego is bruised. Commenters advised her to contact an employment attorney immediately and file for unemployment benefits while documenting his lack of feedback. So what did Reddit decide? The community voted not the asshole with an overwhelming 98% consensus. That means virtually every single viewer agrees that the supervisor is a massive jerk who abused his power. Do you agree? Drop your verdict in the comments. Now, let us dive into the comprehensive legal breakdown of this entire situation, because what this supervisor did exposes both him and the company to severe legal liability under federal and state employment laws. First, this scenario represents a textbook example of quid pro quo workplace harassment under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Quid pro quo is a Latin term that translates to something for something. In employment law, quid pro quo harassment occurs whenever a manager or supervisor explicitly or implicitly conditions tangible employment decisions, such as hiring, promotion, performance evaluations, or continued employment, on an employee's submission to improper or romantic demands. By indirectly demanding that the original poster message him about a romantic relationship and then firing her when she declined, the supervisor directly violated federal non-discrimination laws. An employer cannot legally condition your paycheck on your willingness to date them. Second, let us examine the law surrounding unlawful retaliation and pretextual termination. Federal labor regulations strictly prohibit employers from taking adverse actions against employees for engaging in protected activity, which includes rejecting unwanted romantic advances. The supervisor's deliberate strategy of withholding feedback to create a fake record of poor performance is known in court as pretext. When an employee challenges a termination, courts look at whether the employer's stated reasons are credible. If an employee demonstrates that the performance issues were manufactured after a rejection, judges and juries will infer that the true underlying motive was illegal retaliation. Third, Regarding corporate liability, the company itself can be held strictly liable for the supervisor actions. Under employment law, when a supervisor harassment culminates in a tangible employment action like firing, the employer cannot use an affirmative defense to escape financial liability. The company is fully on the hook for his misconduct. Alright, it is time for the final verdict. We give the supervisor a full 5 out of 5 jerks. Using your managerial position to pressure a subordinate into dating you and then firing her when she sets a healthy boundary is pathetic, manipulative, and completely illegal. If you cannot handle workplace boundaries without throwing tantrums, slamming folders, and destroying someone's livelihood, you have absolutely no business being in leadership. Who is the real jerk here? Drop your verdict in the comments and let us argue about it. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss another breakdown. I will see you in the next one.